left, left, right, left, 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 right, left, left, right, left, 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 right, left, left, right, left, left.
My name is Ginger Clark, and I am the president of the Ybor City Campus, and so it is my privilege to welcome you not only to the college, but specifically here to the Ybor City Campus. I also love the interactivity, and that someone's going home now and will hear this all day long, probably left. So I think that's great. I love that. We always have memories that we take away from each and every graduation, and that will probably be one of my memories that I take away. The public safety programs here on the Ybor City campus are considered flagship programs for our campus, and there are many reasons for that. But one of the main reasons is because it exemplifies a tremendous and long-standing partnership between the college and, in this case, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. We work together to recruit and train the very best in Hillsborough County, and I'm confident that every individual seated here does represent the very best that our community has to offer. So rather than delay things further, I know everyone is here to celebrate graduation and celebrate your family. So I say let's move on with the ceremony, and I'm going to turn it over to John Meeks, who is our Dean of Post-Secondary Adult Vocational Programs for the college, and Dean Meeks oversees the public safety programs. John?
Again, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for coming out and joining us today. Before we get into the ceremony, for the benefit of our audience members, I'd like to give you a little bit of background information on the academy itself, the training program the graduates went through. Some of you probably lived it very firsthand, personal every day when they were coming home. But for the sake of our audience members, let me tell you that the state of Florida requires every law enforcement officer to complete 770 hours of basic training regardless of the person's educational attainment. And why is that? Because these are job vocational training programs. We're teaching them very specific skills how to be law enforcement officers. So it's not about theories and concepts, it's actually about learning how to conduct investigations, write traffic reports, direct traffic, help victims, interview witnesses, and those kinds of things. Very specific skills. So everybody in the state of Florida is required to go through the same basic training program. It takes approximately 22 weeks to complete this program. During those 22 weeks, you're going to see today we're going to be passing out some specialized awards. They take 18 separate written examinations on subjects such as legal, interviewing and report writing, fundamentals of patrol, calls for service, critical incidents, traffic crash investigations, firearms, defensive tactics, vehicle operations, and first aid, just to name some of those 18 courses. In order to successfully complete a course in the academy, each cadet must take an end-of-course final comprehensive examination. Some courses, such as firearms, defensive tactics, first aid, and vehicle operations that you're going to hear more about this afternoon, require the cadets also to take a practical skills test in addition to the comprehensive written examination. Let me put things into perspective. So when we're passing out these awards this afternoon, you can understand how difficult it is to achieve these awards. All right? So when the cadets must score at least 80% on every end-of-course final comprehensive exam. Let me put that in perspective for you. If you score a 79 in one of our credit courses here at the campus, you're going to earn a B- or a C+, depending on that professor's grading scale. Here in the academy, you score a 79, you get an F. We only award 3 letter grades, A's, B's, and S. Why are the academic standards so high? Because our mission statement is to provide the most trained, well-qualified ethical officer for the state of Florida. That's our mission statement. In order to do that, you have to set the bar very, very high. In addition to that, the margin for error for a deputy is very, very small. Think of what could happen if they're wrong 20% of the time. They can get themselves hurt, they can get themselves killed, maybe not be able to help a citizen. So the margin for error for a law enforcement officer in the state of Florida is very, very, very small. In addition to that, they also have to take those practical skills tests that I mentioned. So when they're doing those, some of those practical skills tests require them to score 100% perfect scores. No mistakes. So imagine doing that 18 times in 22 weeks and then taking an additional 6 practical examinations. So you can understand why these graduates were coming home at night stressed, right? Or studying, or saying, don't bother me this weekend. I've got another Mr. Snap's exam. I'm sure you heard about those exams and how challenging they were. So you can understand when we're passing out these awards today, how important they are and how hard they work to get those. And because of those standards being set so high, they also have to take, at the end of the academy, and they did this yesterday afternoon, they had to take a 200-question state certification exam. So everything that they learned over those 22 weeks, they had to retain. And not only retain it, but they had to apply it on a state certification exam. All 41 of them passed their state certification exam yesterday. Let's give them a round of applause. Because of those achievements, this is truly a celebration today. So feel free to hoot and holler, whistle and clap for your graduates today. So if their name is called and they're coming up and they're receiving one of these specialized awards, it is an accomplishment. Give them the recognition that they deserve. We're going to be passing out these diplomas in a little bit, and these are official college diplomas. So when they pass those out, feel free, if you want to take pictures. The Sheriff's Office has graciously provided a photographer as well as a videographer in the back. But if you want to come down to the center aisle this afternoon and take a picture of your graduate, you're certainly welcome to do that. At the end of the ceremony, we're going to move the podium out of the way, the table out of the way, and they're going to do a class photo right up here on the steps. So you'll be more than welcome to come down with the Sheriff's Office photographers and then take a class photo as well for your records if you like to do that, and post it on your social media to do those things. Also, before I introduce our next speaker, I would just like to acknowledge all of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office command staff sitting over there to my right, your stage left. And I just wanted to acknowledge them and Sheriff Chronister and all of their support for being here today. You know, they have very busy schedules, but they're obviously here today to support the graduates and welcome them to the family. And so we thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be here today. And many of them are anxiously awaiting those graduates to hit the street, so they can't wait for them to get into the next stage. So let me introduce our next speaker. I've talked enough. Colonel Robinson. Kyle Robinson is a lifelong resident of Hillsborough County. He has served with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office since 1995, and prior to the ceremony, we were actually just kind of talking about his career a little bit. He began his career, as most officers do, as a patrol deputy, and he gained his experience in many components of the Sheriff's Office over the course of his career. He's worked in DUI enforcement, street crimes, covert detective assignments with Organized Crime Bureau, as well as the Special Investigations Division. Colonel Robinson has also held a number of supervisory positions in the Department of Patrol Services, Professional Standards, Street Crimes, Special Investigations Division, as well as the Criminal Investigations Division. Since 1997, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office operated 4 patrol districts, but over the years, as the county resident population has grown, as the Sheriff's Office has grown, they've had to make some changes. So on May 8th, 2017, the Sheriff's Office opened a new patrol district, District 5. Prior to being promoted to his current rank of colonel, he was also first a major of the newly formed district and was tasked with the planning, implementation, and operation of District 5. That's a lot of work to start up a new district. The transition to 5 patrol districts has been a success and has enabled the Sheriff's Office to better serve the citizens of Hillsborough County. Do we have anybody that lives in Patrol District 5? Nobody even knows, right? Okay. That was a quiz. The graduates, they all passed, not so much for the audience. Colonel Robinson now commands the Department of Patrol Services, so he now oversees more than just, obviously, District 5. So without further ado, let's have Colonel Robinson come up and say a few words.
Thank you, John, for that introduction. And Dr. Clark, I understand, I heard on the radio yesterday that this is the 50th anniversary of Hillsborough Community College, and that's quite a feat of being a vital part of this community for 50 years. We wish you another good 50 years ahead of us. It's my privilege to be with you here today representing Sheriff Chad Chronister and all the 3,500 men and women of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. It's certainly an honor to share this day with the cadets and you, the families, celebrating their graduation from this academy, which is certainly a milestone in their career. Just as these cadets are experiencing something new in their career, like John said, this is new to me. I'm newly promoted to the Colonel of the Department of Patrol Services, so this is the first opportunity I've had to speak at graduation. So I'm very excited to be here. As I thought about choosing the words to say today, I wanted to convey how proud your families, friends, and all of us at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office are of your accomplishments. I wanted to express to you that we know how much work it took and how much time you've invested to getting here today. I also wanted you to feel the huge sense of pride being the center of everyone's attention during this ceremony. While I thought about these things, my mind kept going back to the word I said just moments ago, and that's milestone. Today's graduation is a great milestone in your career. While today we use the term milestone to describe a significant event or an important achievement in life, the word milestone actually dates back to the 3rd century and has somewhat simple but fascinating meaning. And that historical definition is also analogous to why we are here today in your continued career at Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. You see, the Romans built 53,000 miles of roads. To put that in perspective, the total distance between South Florida on Interstate 75 to the northern tip of Michigan is only 1,786 miles. So back in those days, there were no Cracker Barrels or Chick-fil-A's to identify where you were on your journey. To better determine where one was on the road, stone markers were placed every 1,000 paces, which is about 1 mile. So as one would travel on these roads, these milestones would signify the progress in one's journey, and the passing of a milestone was quite an achievement in the 3rd century. Passing a milestone measured how far you've come, but more importantly, also reminded you how far you needed to go. To experience great progress, one had to pass many milestones. Now, I hope you're picturing this in your mind like I am. I'm sure the old Roman roads were not always in the greatest of condition. I picture very small segments of road being difficult or very easy to travel, but the overwhelming majority were difficult to travel. Unlike road signs we see today, which are uniform in appearance throughout the country, I can imagine these historic mile markers were crude stones. Some were great milestones, and some may have seemed insignificant at the time they were passed. Additionally, I'm certain someone would grow very tired during their long journey, but they must persevere and continue to achieve milestones. Now, I'm sure you're beginning to see the parallel I'm trying to draw as this compares to your career in law enforcement at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Being a deputy sheriff has been the most rewarding career I can imagine, and you too will soon understand how rewarding it is. You will have periods of time in your career when the wind is at your back and everything seems to be going in your favor. It's like that brief stretch of road I described on your journey that's not difficult to travel. But enjoy those times because you've chosen a career that is not easy, and you'll be faced with many difficult obstacles along the way. You will need to summon the energy to persevere and continue to move forward and pass milestones to continue your journey to success. Just like the Roman milestones varied in greatness of size, you too will pass milestones in your career that are seemingly greater than others. You will reach huge milestones like you have today. Graduating from this academy is a momentous occasion and should be celebrated, but it's just another milestone. The next milestone you encounter may not seem as large. Perhaps it's passing a test in module training, maybe it's mastering a defensive tactic, or excelling at the firearms range. While in comparison, those things may not seem as remarkable as today's graduation, but you are continuing to pass milestones. because reaching today's milestone does not signify you are finished, only that you are progressing in your journey to becoming a deputy sheriff. You must continue to move forward in your journey to success. As you sit at this stage with your peers during this ceremony, look to your right. The Sheriff's Office staff who are here to support you today are sitting. Perhaps one or more of you are thinking that sitting over there after earning promotions to the highest rank within the Sheriff's Office means there are no more milestones, that you've finished. But if you're thinking that, you're wrong. While Sheriff Chronister has achieved many milestones in his career, he's not finished the journey. He's working to ensure the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office continues to be one of the finest law enforcement agencies in this country. And one critical way he accomplishes this milestone is by recruiting, hiring, and training the best deputies possible to represent him in the community. Today is a great day, which should be celebrated with your family and friends. Take time to reflect on all of your accomplishments, but never forget that more milestones lie ahead. So on behalf of Sheriff Chronister, Chief Deputy Lizinski, and all the staff of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, congratulations. We have confidence in you and are excited about what the future holds for you and the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. God bless you.
Thank you, Colonel. That was very nice. At the beginning of each class, class leadership is assigned to assist with the day-to-day management of the class. These positions carry additional responsibilities and enable the cadets selected to develop leadership skills early in their careers with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. At this time, I would like to recognize the class leadership for Class 1805 and congratulate them for a job well done. Prior to doing that, though, I want to say a special thank you to Deputy Irwin over here, who was my counterpart as the class coordinator for the Sheriff's Office. A lot of their success, the success they had in the academy would not have been possible for him, so I want to thank you very much for that. The first squad leader, Cadet Robert Hemingway. Second squad leader, Cadet Sophia Wall. The third squad leader, Cadet Michael Tedford. Fourth squad leader, Cadet Min Yi. The class vice president, Cadet Charles Williams. And at this time, I would like to ask the class president, Cadet Christopher Cobb, to come forward and deliver his address to the class.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First and foremost, we thank our Heavenly Father for allowing us to celebrate this special occasion. We would like to thank Sheriff Chronister, Chief Deputy Lizinski, and the entire command staff of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office for the extraordinary opportunity to be the next class of law enforcement deputies. Next, we would like to thank Deputy Irwin, our class coordinator, Mr. Snap of the Hillsborough Community College, and all instructors from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, Tampa Police Department, Tampa Fire Rescue, and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement Probation Division. Last but certainly not least, we thank our friends and family who have tirelessly supported us during the first phase of our training. We know that it has not been easy, yet you continue to pour out your love and support. Your commitment has been and will be needed throughout our career. You are truly appreciated. Now I would like to congratulate Class 1805 on a job well done. Today is a day to reflect on our accomplishments and to anticipate the next phase of our training. We are the largest law enforcement class in the history of HCC and HCSO to graduate. However, our size did not diminish our camaraderie. With 41 cadets, we strained the capacity of the locker rooms tested the weight limits of the parking decks during PT. However, we quickly learned to adapt and overcome these challenges. With such a large group and the certainty of close quarters, we made strong bonds. These bonds will last a lifetime, and more importantly, will make us more cohesive as we work together on the streets of Hillsborough County. Looking back to when 1805 first stepped on deck, we all came here with the same goal of serving our community and finding a new adventure. We quickly learned that over 400 applications had been received and only 41 of us had been chosen. Some of us honorably served our nation's military. Many were recent graduates of college, and several came from successful careers in the private sector. This variety of personalities, experience, and knowledge all blended together, allowing each cadet to learn from one another and fill in the gaps, creating a diverse, well-rounded cadet in the end. I know many cadets, including myself, have grown from these experiences, and I hope that all of us will carry what we learned from the Academy, the instructors, and from each other into the future. During our time at the Academy, Class 1805 was challenged with learning over 900 pages of material, 18 academic exams, and many practical evaluations. Included in those tests were high liability tests, which covered first aid, driving, firearms, and defensive tactics. Also, we had 2 to 3 sessions of physical training each week to maintain a high standard of fitness. I am proud to say that 1805 pushed through the many hours of studying and training required to maintain those high expectations of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. The training was not easy, and everyone here today earned their place. Many of us were pushed physically and mentally beyond our comfort zones. We faced many obstacles in the Academy, but we prevailed and are stronger, smarter, and thankful for it. By completion of training, every cadet had gained poise, confidence, and bearing. It was an amazing experience to witness cadets from all walks of life grow individually and then watch those individuals come together as a team that work together for a common goal. I am especially proud to be a part of this experience. At this time, I would like to recognize some of those cadets who have went above and beyond during our training. These cadets have been nominated by the class leadership. The first award is going to a cadet for service as Community Service Coordinator. She was responsible for the coordination, execution, and tracking of all community service events. It is sometimes a thankless job, but a vital one nonetheless. It is my pleasure to present the Community Service Award to Cadet Sanderson. The next award is going to a cadet for academic coaching. This cadet took it upon himself to help all of his classmates study for upcoming tests and was always available if someone needed help. He could normally be found with his textbook in hand, quizzing others around him. It is my pleasure to present the Academic Coach Award to Cadet Charles. The next award is going to the Motivational Sergeant. On most of the physical training runs, I would lead cadence, but on special occasions, this cadet would come out and sing some of his own personal cadences to really fire up the class, especially right before a big test. I watched all the cadets respond with enthusiasm as he came out to lead. This cadet kept our spirits high with the motivational cadences throughout the Academy. It is my pleasure to present the Motivational Sergeant Award to Cadet Nanji. All right, so the final award is the Relentless Award. This cadet was nominated by the class leadership as having the most heart. She showed up to every training day with a smile on her face, regardless of how tough the day was going to be. I think we all wondered how long the smile and the positive attitude would last through all the bruises and defensive tactics, taser and OC qualification, and the rigorous PT schedule. She never backed down, and she also inspired many others to keep pressing forward. It is my pleasure to present the Relentless Award to Cadet Cole Cardenas. In closing, as we move on to the next phase of our training, we will build upon what we've learned in the Academy. Once again, we call on our friends and family to remain supportive during the next phase of our training. We will remain focused, committed, and determined to do our best and maintain the high standards placed before us. We will not give up, fall short, or give in. Thank you. At this time, and in keeping with tradition, I would like to present Mr. Snap with a plaque from the big class.
Thank you very much, class. Appreciate this. We will now move into the presentation of awards. During the course of the 22-week academy, there have been many opportunities for the cadets to excel and set themselves apart from the other cadets. While we're here to acknowledge and commend those that have successfully completed the academy, we'd like to take this opportunity to identify several cadets that have stood out in the different areas of instruction. We will begin with the Firearms or Top Gun Award, and to present this award is Master Deputy David Hoffman, the lead firearms instructor.
Firearms training is an integral part of the academy, of the curriculum for the cadets. Cadets spend many hours on the range honing those fundamental skills that may one day save their life. The Firearms Top Gun Award is given to the cadet whose proficiency scores achieve the highest overall shooting qualification level for the academy class, combining scores from daytime, subdued light shooting, and long gun shotgun shooting. For Class 1805, there were many, many individuals who shot very well and was very, very competitive. This cadet shot nearly a perfect score, dropping just one round. It's my pleasure to introduce, or actually he's been introduced himself, Cadet Christopher Cobb for the Firearms.
The next award will be the Defensive Tactics Award, and to present this award is Senior Probation Officer Michael, it's over, Cotignola.
Welcome, everybody. Congratulations, guys. This was one hell of a big class, I'll tell you that. We're going to need a bigger room if this continues, I'll tell you that. But we had a good time, and I'll tell you, they were a very nice group of people. Moms and dads, you did one excellent job raising these guys, I'll tell you that. Give your parents a hand, people. The Defensive Tactics Award is presented to the cadet who has shown the highest level of proficiency skills, combining assertiveness and professionalism throughout the training block. We get the cadets for 80-plus hours. We get to work on offensive tactics, how to take custody, God forbid defensive if they're ever attacked in the performance of their duties, less than lethal weapons, batons, tasers, chemical spray. So we get to have a lot of fun with the cadets. And the award, after we asked all the instructors, they had a bunch of local, state, and county guys teaching them, girls and guys teaching them. We looked at their written test scores, and the cadet that won is Sophia Watt.
The next award to be given is the Defensive Driving Award, and present this is retired Deputy and Driving Instructor Dominic Desiato.
You know, people ask me why I teach these classes. Now, on a serious note, officers are more likely to get injured or killed driving than they are with even firearms. So that's the reason we do it. We're trying to prevent those crashes from happening. Now, on the humorous side, I do it for entertainment. Now, I'm going to tell a story, but it's not them. Not that they probably didn't entertain me, but I don't want to put anybody on the spot. But I had a previous class, and one of the things that we do is we teach them how to do something simple like changing a tire. Nowadays, you'd be surprised how many of them don't even know how to do that. Well, one of the things you do is you put the jack next to the wheel that's flat that you're going to change, and you put it under the frame, you know, about a foot away from the tire, and then you change the tire. A couple of days later, a cadet came up to me and said, you know, I had a flat last night, and what you showed me didn't work. And I says, well, what do you mean it didn't work? I put that jack a foot behind that front tire, just like you showed me, and I couldn't get the wheel off. And I go, which wheel was flat? And the cadet goes, the back tire. You can't pay for that kind of entertainment. Okay?
Dominic, was it a TPD cadet?
It actually was TPD.
You got to say it no matter what.
Okay. So the Defensive Driving Award is presented to the cadet who has not only passed the written block exam, but demonstrated the highest levels of proficiency throughout the 48 hours of vehicle operation. This recruit performed the driving exercises with the least amount of exercises, with the least amount of errors in the shortest amount of time. We put them under a stopwatch, but it's not solely for time. I mean, a mistake is equivalent to a crash. If you get into a crash on the way to a call, then you don't get there. So being the fastest isn't always the best. Class 1805's top driving award goes to Cadet Charles Williams.
The First Responder Award is presented next and will be presented by driver and engineer Kerwin Stokes of Tampa Fire Rescue.
All right. The First Responder Award is presented to the cadet who not only demonstrates a high level of proficiency during the applied practical medical emergency scenario evaluation, but also ranks as the highest combined score for both the CPR exam and the medical first responder final exam. So we actually have them for a little over a week. And in that week, they actually take 3 exams, like I just mentioned. A CPR exam that they have to pass with an 84%, their end of course exam that they have to pass with an 80%, and an actual practical, it's pass or fail. You know, this is one of those things where they have to get 100% on. And it was a massive class, but it was my pleasure. This award is presented to none other than Cadet Alexander Byland.
The academic award is presented to the cadet with the highest grade point average based upon a cumulative overall average involving 18 comprehensive examinations, and it is my pleasure to present this award. Before announcing the winner, though, I would like to recognize those cadets who also achieved outstanding academic averages and were among the top 5 in the class. Please pay close attention to the numbers I'm getting ready to give you here and realize just how close they are and how tight the competition was. When I call your name, cadet, please stand and remain standing until the second place runner-up is recognized. In 5th place, with a GPA of 96.333, Cadet Ashley Barrero. In 4th place, with a GPA of 96.611, Cadet Steven Hernandez. In 3rd place, with a GPA of 97% even, Cadet Alexander Byland. In second place with a GPA of 97.5, Cadet Cecilia Rosendo. And now for the first place academic award winner, which goes to the cadets that achieved an overall GPA of 97.778. Cadets Christopher Cobb and Jordan Summers. It is actually very rare that we actually have a tie. When you think about it, over 18 exams, there's actually a total of 1,225 questions. So one question can make all the difference in the world to come up with a tie. So that's a very outstanding job. The last award to be presented is the Merit Award and will be presented by John Meeks, the Director of the Criminal Justice Institute.
Wow, those are some impressive numbers, weren't they? The Merit Award is presented to the cadet who has demonstrated an overall outstanding level of academic achievement, individual professionalism, and skill throughout the entire training program. This is a very prestigious award that is recognized statewide as being presented to the best all-around cadet who's excelled in multiple areas during this training program. 10 different objective criteria are applied to this award. And it's my pleasure to present the award for Class 1805 to Cadet William Dillmore.
We will now proceed with what Class 1805 has been eagerly awaiting 22 weeks for, graduation. Class 1805, prepare for graduation.
First squad, another 10. Put.
Starting here.
Okay, y'all. Two.
Me first?
No, you both got here. Yeah, you first, and then we're going to stand between you two in case he's going to take a picture.
Anthony R. Anganella. Alexa M. Aron. Hunter C. Baines. Aaron J. Boykel. Alexander T. Byland. Ashley M. Barrero. Preston R. Charles. Christopher S. Cobb. Gabriella A. Cole Cardenas. Hernan D. Cuates. William P. Dillmore. Diego Garcia. Rachel L. Groves. Ryan T. Hake. Robert R. Hemingway. Stephen J. Hernandez. Randy J. Jackson. Harold P. Kimmel, Jr. Daniel S. Millard. Clinton Nanji Nanji. Daniel J. Ortiz. Michael J. Ortiz.
Like a double exposure there,
Brianna R. Palacios. Megan M. Pantano. Keith M. Phillips. Giovanni A. Rodriguez, Jr. Cecilia A. Rosendo. Nydia J. Ross. Stephanie L. Sanderson. Luis A. Santos Colon. James D. Smith. Jordan L. Somerville. Stephanie L. Stonebridge. Michael S. Tedford. Reed C. Thomas. Kyle J. Varga. Sophia E. Wall. Michael C. Wilcox. Charles E. Williams, Jr. Andrew J. Williamson. Min S. Yee. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Law Enforcement Academy Class 1805. Graduated.